Session 3 of Active Listening Mastery, 15 Practical Lessons for Better Communication. How to give someone your full attention. Have you ever looked directly at someone, nodded at the right moments, and still realized that you cannot remember what they just said? Maybe a friend was telling you about a difficult experience, but your mind was thinking about tomorrow's responsibilities. Perhaps a colleague was explaining an important task while you were quietly checking notifications on your phone. Or maybe someone asked, "Are you listening?" and you answered, "Yes," even though your attention had been somewhere else. This happens to almost everyone. We may genuinely want to listen, but wanting to listen and giving someone our full attention are not always the same thing. In this session, we will explore one of the most important foundations of active listening: concentration and presence. You will learn why attention disappears, how distractions weaken communication, and what you can do when your mind keeps wandering. Most importantly, you will learn how to return your attention to the speaker without becoming frustrated with yourself. Giving someone your full attention does not mean that your mind will never wander. It means noticing when your attention has moved away and intentionally bringing it back. Think of attention as a flashlight. Wherever you point the flashlight, that area becomes clearer. During a conversation, your attention can be directed toward the speaker's words, tone, facial expressions, and meaning. But the flashlight can also move toward your phone, your worries, your plans, your memories, or the response you are preparing. When attention moves away, listening becomes incomplete. Imagine that your sister is explaining why she felt hurt during a family conversation. You hear the first part, but then you begin thinking, "She misunderstood me. I need to explain what really happened." While you prepare your defense, she continues speaking. You may hear her words, but you are no longer fully understanding her experience. Now imagine a different response. You notice that your mind has started preparing an answer. Instead of following that thought, you quietly return your attention to her. You listen to the rest of what she says and ask, "Was the hardest part that you felt ignored?" That small shift can change the entire conversation. Your sister may feel understood, and you may gain information that you would have missed while preparing your response. One of the biggest obstacles to full attention is distraction. Some distractions are external. Phones vibrate, messages appear, people walk nearby, and other conversations compete for our attention. Some distractions are internal. We worry about money, remember an embarrassing moment, think about unfinished work, or imagine what might happen tomorrow. External distractions are often easier to notice because we can see them. Internal distractions can be more difficult because they may feel important. A thought about an upcoming deadline may appear in the middle of a conversation, and suddenly your attention is no longer with the person in front of you. The goal is not to force every thought to disappear. Trying to eliminate all thoughts can make you more aware of them. Instead, briefly recognize the thought and return to the conversation. You might silently tell yourself, "I will think about that later. Right now, I am listening." Then focus on one clear part of the speaker's communication. Listen to the next sentence. Notice the person's tone. Observe their facial expression. Ask yourself, what is this person trying to help me understand? This gives your attention a useful direction. Digital devices create another major challenge. A phone does not need to make a sound to affect listening. When a phone is visible on the table, part of the mind may remain ready for a notification. Even a quick glance can interrupt concentration. Suppose a manager is speaking with an employee about a problem at work. The manager checks a message while the employee is explaining the situation. The manager may believe that the interruption lasted only a few seconds, but the employee may feel that the issue is not important. The message communicated is not only, "I am checking my phone." It may also be interpreted as, "Something on this screen has more priority than what you are saying." When a conversation matters, make your attention visible. Put the phone away, turn it face down, or place it outside your immediate reach. If you are waiting for an urgent message, explain that clearly before the conversation begins. For example, you might say, "I am expecting an important call, but I want to focus on you. If it comes, I may need to check it briefly." Clear communication is more respectful than repeatedly looking at a screen without explanation. Multitasking also creates the illusion that we are listening better than we actually are. You may answer emails while someone speaks, prepare food while your partner explains a concern, or work on another task during an online meeting. You may hear many of the words, but your mind must repeatedly move between activities. Every shift requires attention. Important details may be lost, emotional meaning may be missed, and misunderstandings may increase. Consider a university student attending an online class while reading messages and opening several unrelated websites. The student may remain connected to the lesson, but attention is divided. Later, the student may remember a few ideas without understanding how they connect. A more effective approach is to reduce competing tasks before listening begins. Close unnecessary applications. Put unrelated work aside. If you cannot give full attention at that moment, be honest and suggest another time. You might say, I want to understand this properly, but I am finishing something that requires my full concentration. Can we talk in 10 minutes? This can be more respectful than pretending to listen while only giving partial attention. Stress is another reason the mind wanders. When people feel overwhelmed, the mind may repeatedly return to problems that seem urgent. Someone may be speaking, but your thoughts are focused on a difficult decision, financial pressure, family responsibilities, or an upcoming deadline. In these moments, full attention may require a brief transition. Before an important conversation, take a few seconds to notice where your mind is. You do not need a complicated exercise. Simply recognize, I am still thinking about work, or I am carrying stress from earlier. Then choose to place the current conversation in the center of your attention. You can also use your body to support concentration. Sit in a comfortable and attentive position. Face the speaker when possible. Relax unnecessary tension in your shoulders. Maintain natural eye contact without staring. These actions do not create attention by themselves, but they help communicate readiness and reduce opportunities for distraction. Presence is not only a mental decision, it is also reflected in how you physically participate. However, being present does not mean becoming perfectly still or intensely focused every second. Natural movement is normal. People may look away briefly while thinking or adjust their posture. The purpose is not to perform attention. The purpose is to understand the person. Another common problem is internal rehearsal. This happens when we begin preparing our answer before the speaker has finished. Imagine that a friend says, I am considering leaving my job. Immediately, your mind may produce advice. You should stay, the job market is difficult, you need to be careful. While you prepare this response, your friend continues, I have already accepted another position, but I am worried about disappointing my current team. The meaning of the conversation has changed. If you were focused on your advice, you may have missed the real concern. Instead of asking, what should I say next? Try asking, what is this person saying now? That question brings attention back to the present. You can also listen for the central idea rather than trying to memorize every sentence. Ask yourself, what happened? How does this person feel? What matters most to them? For example, a customer may describe several problems with a service. Rather than becoming overwhelmed by every detail, you might recognize the central message. The customer feels frustrated because they received different information from different employees. Understanding the main concern helps you respond more accurately. Even with good habits, your mind will sometimes wander. When it happens, avoid turning the moment into self-criticism. You may think, I am terrible at listening. I always lose focus. That frustration can take even more attention away from the speaker. Instead, treat wandering attention as a signal to return. Notice it, release the distracting thought. Reconnect with the speaker. If you miss something important, you can be honest. Say, I want to make sure I understand. Could you repeat that last part? This is usually better than pretending you heard and responding incorrectly. In a workplace meeting, asking for clarification may prevent an expensive mistake. In a relationship, it may prevent unnecessary conflict. In a classroom, it may help you understand a concept before the lesson moves forward. Returning attention is not failure. It is part of the skill. You can practice full attention in short conversations. During one conversation today, place your phone away and focus only on the speaker for a few minutes. Notice when your mind begins planning, judging, or worrying. Then return to the person's words. Do not aim for perfection. Aim for awareness and return. Over time, you may notice that conversations feel clearer. You may remember more details. People may become more comfortable sharing with you because they experience your attention as genuine. Giving someone your full attention is one of the clearest ways to communicate respect. It tells the other person, your words are important enough for me to be here with you. In this session, we learned that attention can be weakened by digital devices, multitasking, stress, internal thoughts, and the habit of preparing a response too early. We also learned that active listening does not require a perfectly silent mind. It requires the ability to notice distraction and return to the speaker with patience. The next time your mind wanders, do not become frustrated. Recognize where your attention went, gently bring it back, and reconnect with the person in front of you. Your attention is not only something you use, it is something you give. If this lesson helped you, please like the video, share it with someone who wants to become a better listener, and subscribe to the channel for the complete Active Listening Mastery series. In the next session, we will explore how to listen beyond words by understanding tone, facial expressions, body language, and the emotions people may communicate without saying them directly.